Liam and I had been married for 8 years. To anyone looking in from the outside, we were the perfect couple. We had a modest but cozy home, steady jobs, and a quiet, predictable life. Friends would often comment on how lucky I was to have someone like Liam, reliable, kind, the quintessential good guy. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. Our marriage wasn't unhappy, exactly. There were no screaming matches, no major betrayals, no devastating secrets. It was just empty. The spark we'd once shared had long since flickered out. Conversations became transactional, affection was rare, and intimacy felt like a chore. I told myself it was normal, that every marriage hit a plateau, but the nagging sense of dissatisfaction never left. One rainy Friday afternoon, I was home early from work. My sister, Claire, called, her voice animated as she launched into yet another story about her boyfriend, Greg, and his endless list of flaws. She vented about his lack of ambition, his laziness, and his inability to commit. "I just don't know if he's the one," Claire said, exasperated. "How did you know Liam was the right person for you?" Her question caught me off guard. I hesitated, searching for the right words, but the silence stretched on. Claire laughed nervously. "Come on, don't tell me you have regrets too." I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was the weight of the past few months pressing down on me, or maybe I just needed to say the words out loud, even if only once. "Sometimes," I admitted quietly. "Sometimes I think I do regret it." Claire's end of the line went silent, but the floodgates had opened. "It's not that Liam's a bad husband. He's a good man, and he's always treated me well. But I don't know if he's the one. I've been feeling like this for a while now. Like maybe I settled because I thought it was the right thing to do." The words tasted bitter as I said them, but they were the truth. I look at my life, and it's fine. It's stable. But is he fine enough? Is stability what I want for the rest of my life? I don't feel alive anymore. Claire sighed. "That's heavy, Emma. Have you talked to Liam about how you feel?" "I can't," I said quickly, almost defensively. "How do you tell someone you're not sure you'd marry them if you had the choice again? It would destroy him." I heard a soft creak behind me. My stomach dropped. "Claire, I have to go," I said hurriedly, hanging up. I turned around, my heart pounding, but the hallway was empty. I told myself it was just the house settling, but the uneasy feeling lingered. For the rest of the evening, Liam was unusually quiet. He avoided eye contact, gave curt answers to my questions, and didn't sit next to me on the couch like he usually did. I chalked it up to him having a bad day and decided to give him space. But over the next few days, his behavior became more distant, more detached. He'd leave the house early, come back late, and barely say a word to me. When I asked if something was wrong, he brushed me off with a terse "I'm fine." I tried to convince myself it was just a phase, that work was stressing him out or he was in a mood. But deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed. One night, about a week later, I came home to find Liam sitting in the kitchen, a stack of papers in front of him. His face was calm, but his eyes betrayed the storm brewing beneath the surface. "Liam?" I asked cautiously. "What's going on?" He slid the papers across the table. My hands trembled as I picked them up, my eyes scanning the words. "Divorce papers." I looked up at him, my voice barely above a whisper. "You're divorcing me?" Liam's jaw tightened. "I heard you, Emma," he said quietly. "Last week. On the phone with Claire." My breath caught in my throat. I wasn't supposed to come home that early, but I did. I stood there and listened to every word. "You think you settled for me? You think I'm holding you back?" He shook his head, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and pain. "You don't love me, Emma. Not the way I thought you did." "Liam, no." I cried, tears streaming down my face. "That's not what I meant. I was just venting. I didn't mean." "You meant it," he interrupted, his voice cold. "You might not have wanted me to hear it, but you meant it. And I can't stay in a marriage where I'm just someone you settled for." I begged him to reconsider, to let us go to therapy, to at least try to fix things. But his mind was made up. "I'm done, Emma," he said firmly. "I deserve someone who loves me completely. And you deserve to figure out what you really want." The next morning, he was gone. No note, no explanation. He didn't return my calls or texts. When I went to his office, his co-workers said he'd taken a leave of absence. Weeks turned into months, and I still had no idea where he was. The divorce went through uncontested, and Liam never reached out again. It was as if he'd disappeared from my life entirely. Even now, years later, I can't think about that day without feeling a pang of regret. I thought I was just venting, that my words didn't mean anything. But words have power, and mine destroyed the one person who truly loved me. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder where Liam is. If he's happy. If he's found someone who loves him the way he deserves to be loved. And sometimes, I wonder if I made the biggest mistake of my life by letting him go.